No matter what anime or cartoon you watch, whether it's American or Japanese, if it fits the battle genre, there is always a group or section of guys that stand at the apex of whatever respective verse it is. Today I will look at the various high tiers of Naruto and Boruto, while also explaining what abilities and tactics you would need to employ to defeat them. With that being said, let's begin. First, starting with the weakest of the strong guys, we have Hashirama. Now for Hashirama, he's a bit straightforward as he mainly uses wood style in battle. To counter wood style, all you would need is some sort of fire ability. Now I know fire has been used against Hashirama within the show, but these were from people vastly weaker than him. If you had fire big enough and strong enough to combat his wood style, they would simply burn and shrivel up. As we've seen with Madara's great fireball jutsu, the trees burned with ease. Now he also has extreme healing and massive stamina. His ability to heal is none like any other within the Naruto franchise, as he doesn't utilize hand size at all, and it completely eclipses Tsunade's ability to heal. Tsunade is someone who can heal entire organs and heal from half death, and quite literally cut in half. So his ability completely eclipsing this without the use of hand signs kind of shows what you would need to take him down. He's able to fight Madara for 3 days straight without any extreme tiring. Yeah, he kind of goes out of Sage mode, but that's whatever. He can still put up a fight against Madara on day 3. Just fire style and the ability to fight him for multiple days on end, you should be able to just exhaust his chakra supply and beat him up. Because once he's in base, he's not really that durable as he relies on healing and his wood to cover him in battle, as we see against Madara and Jubito. But another thing to watch out for is his giant AoE attacks. Yeah, he summons this massive 1,000-armed golem humanoid type creature that punches alone can kind of topple hills and small mountains. So getting rid of his AoE and massive stamina supply should just allow you to win the battle easily. Next we have 6-pass Sage Mode Madara. Now, usually in cross versus, to kind of simplify things, we equalize the versus energy sources. So if we were to equalize the energy source of whatever character you choose, it would be equivalent to normal chakra. Normal chakra techniques, at least, do not work on 6-pass Sage Mode Madara. Only 6-pass or stage techniques works on him because he has a 6-pass Sage Mode body. So this means you would only need hand-to-hand combat. And with hand-to-hand combat, you also draw the risk of TSO. If you don't know what TSO or truth-seeking orbs are, they erase you from existence once they come into contact with you, and they also negate all ninjutsu thrown at them. So while you do have to fight with hand-to-hand combat, you also have to avoid these existence erasing orbs, which will be kind of tricky. It's even tricky for some people in the show, such as Minato, who gets his arm completely evaporated and destroyed. His soul is even destroyed once he's returned to the afterlife because he tries to come in too close. So the most effective thing besides hand-to-hand combat is sealing. Sealing is what they also try to do to Madara before he turned into Kaguya. So with any sealing technique strong enough for 6-pass Sage Mode Madara, of course, you should employ that in combat to get rid of him. Next we have Kaguya. Now she is by far the most difficult in the Naruto verse to beat, not because she is the strongest, because she's not. We have seen various people be stronger than her. That's in Boruto. She is the strongest in Naruto though. But it is because she has the widest range and arsenal in the whole franchise. She not only could use every nature transformation, and she's fused with nature. She has portal and dimension creation and dimension destruction. She also has ash destroying bones, with on contact just disintegrate your body. And she has a wide range of physical techniques such as the God Fist, which create these chakra fists that blast through anything in its path. Now having portal creation and flight kinda deals with most of this. Portal creation because if she does trap you in these dimensions, which she can just fling you into randomly, she doesn't even need the use of a portal. As we've seen with Naruto, Kakashi, Sasuke, and Sakura, she kind of just flung them into the lava dimension. Having portal creation means you can just instantly escape these at will, and it's not like an instant BFR or instant death. Flight also deals with this because when she teleports you into these various dimensions, you're usually just falling right into a pit of lava, or maybe you're encased in ice. So flight is pretty much needed to deal with Kaguya. If you don't have flight, it's probably just going to fly in the air and launch down attacks or send you into dimensions. Now that we've gotten flight out the way, you also need to be very agile to deal with her controlling of all nature. Kaguya, when she comes back, she completely fuses with nature, so that means she has complete control over ice within her ice dimension, lava within her lava dimension, and sand within her sand dimension. So just like Madara, or not just like Madara, Taijutsu probably would not work on her at all. Ninjutsu won't work on her at all, as she absorbs techniques, and she also have a 6-pass Sage Mode body. Sealing is pretty much the only way to deal with Kaguya, as stated multiple times through various Naruto databooks. You also need to seal her quickly, as when she uses some of her more destructive techniques like the expansive Truth-Seeking Orb, she just grows a massive amount within battle. So you need to end this fight not only quickly but swiftly with a sealing technique so she won't grow, like I said. With that being said, that's the most for Kaguya. Next is Fuse Momoshiki. Now, stabbing out his eyes and destroying his eyes, if you don't know, his eyes are what kind of funnels most of his power, and that's where all of his techniques come from. Gets rid of most, if not all, of his techniques. The Renegons, for the most part, and the most dangerous part about them is the absorbing and sending back of techniques amplified. He also shares Kaguya's elemental nature abilities, which he probably couldn't use after being weakened severely via stabbing out his Renegons, such as what Sasuke was doing in the final battle against Fused Momoshiki to help out Boruto in clashing the Rasengan. But unlike Kaguya, you could use physical techniques because Kaguya did not rely solely on the 3 Renegons she used to fuse with nature and use all of these Haxi abilities. So just like Sasuke, using physical fighting and weaponry to stab out his eyes and just beat him up after because he has a pretty weak body. As we see, he can't really tank Naruto and Sasuke punches. He also can't take the explosion of the Susanoo blade destroying the golem. So to simplify and sum it up, stabbing out his Renegons and just beating up his brittle body seems to be enough for Fused Momoshiki. Next, we have a category of people, so I'll just put them all in this one placement to simplify things. Naruto, Daemon, Sasuke, Delta, Ishiki, and Code. They all have varying abilities that make it kind of hard to deal with them, but as we've seen in the show, overwhelming physical speed and power seems to be the kind of thing that works to destroy them. Partnered with absorption and massive stamina should be enough. That's kind of a vague, and of course it wouldn't work all the time, but for the most part, that is the type of fighters that counter them inverse. A little bit more about Daemon in Boruto anime, we get further context that his ability to reflect action does not need hand contact. This is kind of vague within the manga because people are debating, oh, is he talking about the intent needs hand contact or talking about every ability Daemon has needs hand contact? In the anime, we just outright see he reflects something without the need for hand contact. So that's probably only his intention reflecting ability that needs the contact of the hand. So with that being said, in the anime he becomes a bit more tricky, but any way to deal with them shall be employed. Ishiki also can shrink and grow things to a massive size while having the ability to store you in a dimension where time doesn't flow, so watch out for those as well. But for the most part, like I said in the beginning, overwhelming physical abilities should be able to deal with this category of fighters. Ida, she might be one of the trickiest besides Kaguya. Now Ida has outright stated that physical power just does not work on her. You cannot force her to do anything with physicals. We also see that with her abilities description, which can instantly make someone fall in love, which makes them unable to do harm to her, and her ability to see everything. The only counter I really see for this is possibly not having the capacity for love, because of course if you don't have the capacity for love, then she can't encapture your heart, or being on a higher dimensional tier. Other than that, she's pretty cracked. Those are really the only ways I see in defeating Ida, because in a crossverse battle, there won't be any Otsutsuki's and there also won't be any blood relatives to negate her ability otherwise. Lastly, we have Shibai Otsutsuki. So he stands at the true apex of the verse, and the only way to beat him is literally to be on the same or higher dimensional tier as him, as he has transcended the 3rd dimension. So none of those, Goku 3D people can even perceive him, let alone beat him. He kind of just destroys all of these people. You have to be 4D or higher to even perceive Shibai. Now some lesser high tiers and honorable mentions are Boro, firstly, who, while he is slow and weak, so you shouldn't have any problem dealing with him physically, his poison attacks the DNA and cells, partnered with how he can regen from literally anything as long as his core is intact. You really need to not get close and have an attack large enough AoE to destroy his body completely without the poison getting in your system or you breathing in the poison and it negging you. But if you have antibodies for the poison, literally just walking up and just destroying him with one attack, or beating up his body until the core is visible, taking out the core, destroying it, should suffice. Boro is a pseudo high tier, I call him, because he only really has one attack that makes him high tier, and that is his very annoying poison. The last honorable mention is the Ten Tails, which is not really a person, it's more of a beast. It has a mind, but it's not as smart as, of course, the humans on the placements. But it's so massive that normal attacks probably won't do anything, as it dwarfs Susanos, who dwarfs meteors casually. How people deal with it inverse is literally just absorbing it for power, as its AoE, stamina, and body is just too overwhelming to defeat with any minor ability. Another ability it has is making clones out of its body tissue, but the clones are fairly easy to deal with as they do not scale to the Jubi whatsoever, and they are just weaker, far weaker and smaller versions of the Jubi. That being said, that pretty much sums up most, if not all, the higher tiers in Naruto and Boruto. If you think I left someone off the list, be sure to comment in the comment section. I'll give a mini description of how they can be defeated. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Like, comment, subscribe, share, and goodbye.